Hello everyone and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. My name is Winback and today we're going to be playing the man, the myth, the legend, and the bird. His name is Falstad. He's spectral, he's spooky, he's perfect for what we're trying to do here. Another Dragonshire game. I mean, let's be honest. Can I get away from it? I love this map. It's the best of all time. Team comps today are going to be Abathur, Murky, Karazim, Falstad, Muradin versus Sergeant Hammer, Lieutenant Morales. I love StarCraft. Chromie, May, and Asmodan. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. It is YouTube. You should be used to this pattern by now. Welcome. Also, I went over 200 subscribers pretty recently, so thank you to everybody who felt the need to, sign up, hang out, watch videos. That's really cool. That does my heart healthy, so. Yeah, anyway, we're playing Falstad. Since we haven't played this character in literal eons, I'm going to go over everything with you about him. Our Q is called Hammering. We are just going to throw out a straight line skill shot. It's going to do damage on the way out and the way back in, and it is also going to slow things down for 25% on those hits. On top of that, we have our W. It's called Lightning Rod. We're going to deal 111 damage to an enemy on the first tick, and then every tick after that for the next 4 seconds is going to deal 78 damage. Our most damaging ability on the character. I will not lie to you. E, super easy, very simple, very old ability. It's called Barrel Roll. It's going to dash Falstad in a line, and it's going to give him a shield. It's really cool. And when I say really cool, I mean really simple, kind of boring, but very effective. Our trait is called Tailwind. It's on a 6-second cooldown, but it's all dictated by the amount of combat that you're in. So if you have not taken damage for 6 seconds, it's going to kick in and you're going to get 15% increased movement speed, and that's it. That's the whole trait. Really cool, I know. The reason that we do this is because Falstad does not have a traditional mount. So we've got Flight instead on a 75-second cooldown. If you have ever seen this character in your life before, Falstad just zips around the map. It is a small channel on the ability, and if you cancel that channel, you will get it on a 9-second cooldown. So if you hit Z, do not right-click after you have done that button, because you'll interrupt the channel, you'll have to wait 9 seconds, everything's terrible, it feels bad, really does. But from there, it's not a global range, the range is enormous, but you can't fly anywhere on the map. You still have a radius around Falstad that is possible. Yeah. So, Falstad has 2 ults. Well, Falstad actually only has 1 ult, but Henderland Blast is the one that everybody thinks is good and really isn't. So, the most recent change to this ability, it used to be called Shock and Awe, but now, what they've done with this ability is given it a 120-second cooldown, and every hero that you hit is going to reduce the cooldown of the ability by 25 seconds. Now, why do they think that's good? I don't know. The radius, the area, the range of the ability is enormous, but the amount of damage that it's doing on top of the legitimately like 0 reward that you have for landing it is pretty awful. I think that the dev team really needs to change this ability to a percentage cooldown per enemy that you hit, and they need to drop that from 120-second cooldown down to like maybe 80 or 90, if that. I could even see it like maybe you take 100 damage off of it and you call it 60-second cooldown to match it with Mighty Gust. I think that's way more useful for the ability, and you could probably get some decent value out of it. But Mighty Gust is the only ultimate that Falstad has. It's on a 60-second cooldown. It is a massive push from Falstad's Griffin, Swiftwing, who is going to slow enemies by 40%, decaying over 4 seconds after they have been pushed. So the ability is the whole reason that Falstad is so massively popular with the players who play him, and it's the reason that he can just turn boss fights, shove team fights directly in the wrong direction for the enemy team, and just make shit happen. It's the playmaking ability for this character. It is the best thing about him, bar none. Even if he didn't have his global, if he had Mighty Gust, he would still be obnoxiously strong. Yeah, so we'll talk about the talents right away because this game is a little bit goofy in the way that the team comps are going, and I do want to talk about that as well. I took Wingman at level 1. This is going to give us stacks of bribe every time that a minion dies around us. At 20 stacks, we are going to be able to bribe 1 mercenary, and 1 mercenary from a camp is going to equate to 5% additional damage on our lightning rod. Not only that, but passively, this reduces the cooldown of lightning rod by 3 seconds, so changes it from 13 to 10 seconds, which is really good, and you'll see why later in the build. But what that also means is that Falstad can kind of just walk up to minion camps, pick them off one at a time, especially if they're in a safe position, increase his damage, which is immediate payoff, rather than having to just, take merc camps for the sake of taking merc camps with bribe. The other characters that have cool bribes that can make kind of interesting plays with them are going to be Nova, who can bribe camps, and then their cooldown, the camp cooldown, is decreased very, very hard, so the camps come back quicker. And then, obviously, Murky has a bribe too. I don't remember the special effects of the bribe, if there are any. I think Murky just specifically has to get them with pufferfish, which is really easy because Murky can kill waves with pufferfish, like, boom. This is a Falstad video, though, so we're going to move on to level 4. We've got our hammer gains. We're going to get 20% of the damage that we deal with our auto attacks back in health. Now, that is good, number 1, because Falstad does not have any way to heal himself outside of this. Is there a camp steal going on down here? There's just a hammer sitting in a bush shooting at my Murky, and I don't think that I like anything that's going on here. I'm going to kill the medic, number 1. Murky's going to die. Just gust the stim-droned Sergeant Hammer away, and then casually just wait for her to think she's safe. Oh, I've got the Murky coming around the back. He's got the Octo grab. I am looking. There's the puffer. There it is. There's the Octo. It's coming. It's coming. Yes. And then we're just going to attack Hammer, who was standing legitimately still for the entire thing. Probably didn't even need to Octo grab because she was just ready to die. Holy shit. But anyway, Hammer gains, you're going to need it because you're a global presence at the end of the day. You are not going to be all-in team fighting at every instance that there is with Falstad. You want to be creating map pressure. You want to be killing minions. You want to be getting bribe stacks. You want to scale into the late game with everything that you have. And the best way to do that is to push waves. And if you're getting poked out by either minion damage, merc damage, hero damage, whatever the case may be, you need a way to heal that back up on your own, because your healer's not always going to be able to sit on top of you and get you healed up while you're doing the macro thing. Healer's got to stay with the team. Please go away. Leave my tank alone. I am the dragon. I choose which buildings live and which buildings die. And it's gone. Okay, Murky and Monk down. Little bit of a bummer there, trying to get back out of death range once we come out of the dragon, and Mamerdin's got me with a Stormbolt. Nailed it. But at level 7, we are going to pick up Boomerang. I do not think that you can pick any other talent at this tier. Now, I say that because Boomerang has been around for the longest time, and it is the most efficient wave clear talent that Falstad has easily. The other talents at this tier are Secret Weapon and Charged Up. Secret Weapon, increasing the range and giving yourself some more auto attack damage while the hammer's out. There's too many conditions on that talent to make your auto attacks useful, and considering what I just told you earlier, Falstad wanting to create macro pressure, not necessarily fighting. Ouch. We lost our Amit there. To a lot of demons. It's a team fight talent. It's just not good. In addition to that, Charged Up, a lot of people like to just build 100% full W build, and I don't think that's correct either. Because when you take Charged Up, you're, again, dumping your wave clear just all over the floor. You need to be able to throw out your Q. You need to be able to bust it and kill the wave, especially if the wave is in line. If you hit it with a boomerang, just like that, you're going to take out the archer minions and the leader minion. You're going to basically take out the whole back of the minion wave with one Q. And then clearing up the melee minions after that is super easy. But boomerang is how Falstad clears waves, and it's the only talent that you should really be taking at that tier for that reason. Now, on to level 10. We've talked about Mighty Gust. Flow Rider is our 13, though. While Tailwind is active, Falstad's basic abilities recharge 100% faster. So essentially, we're going to cut the cooldown in half while our Tailwind is going. So that drops Hammering to a 5-second cooldown. Lightning Rod also a 5-second cooldown because we've got our Wingman reducing it to 10 seconds from base. And then Barrel Roll is going to get dropped to about 6.5. So it's really, 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 really strong as long as you're not taking damage, which a lot of the time you're not going to be doing with Falstad because you're creating these big macro advantages, you're pushing waves, you're not dealing a whole lot with the enemy team or stuff like that. And then when you do finally get into team fights, you can get to the point where if you are slick enough with your positioning, you will never not have your lightning rod on a target. So you can just constantly be dealing ridiculous amounts of damage with all your bribe stacks that you've gotten, and then the reduced cooldown is going to make that a lot easier to keep up. So you don't even have to be in auto attack range half the time. You can just rip that lightning rod and it's going to destroy someone. And that couples really well with the 16 talent, which is going to reduce the cooldown activation from 6 seconds to 3 seconds for our trait. And it's going to increase the movement speed bonus by 10%. Move speed, obviously super good for dodging all abilities that are coming at you, especially if you're a squishy ranged character like Falstad is. And the kind of back and forth game that you have to have while keeping your... Ooh, can the monk escape? Looks like they're gone. Nice. Way to go. Dragon is down. I need to leave. Not going to get hit by the ball on our exit either. I have 3 stacks of bribe up. I am going to get myself 15% more damage here with 1 more bribe. Probably go down to the bottom and pick that up as well. Yeah, so these talents, the 13 and 16, coupled with your number 1, are going to be the main form of damage that you deal, because all of that is baked into the lightning rod, and that is your most consistent form of damage. It is a huge amount. I'm flying in here. I don't know if I necessarily needed to, but why not just put the nail in the coffin for the big donkey dude? You're welcome. At 20, we're going to be picking up a wind tunnel. Wind tunnel is going to create additional gusts, essentially. Once we fling the Mighty Gust, number 1, there's going to be a whole bunch of Mighty Gusts after it that are going to continually push back the characters caught in the Mighty Gust. Now, why is that good? Because not only does that slow apply over and over again, the 40% slow, but if we can manage to push an entire team into a wall, which is very easy on this map, they are just going to get slammed into that wall over and over and over again, not be able to move, not be able to press buttons, everything's going to get interrupted, everything is horrible for the enemy team when they're trapped in the wind tunnel. So, that ability on top of the Mighty Gust itself is just supreme playmaking potential for this character. And if you're not picking Mighty Gust because you don't think it makes cool plays or some shit like that, do yourself a favor, rethink your life choices, and pick the right talents. Ta-da! No, I'm sure you've noticed at some point, but the team comps are kind of stupid as hell. At one point, the Asmo was the offlaner, and the Sergeant Hammer, Morales, May, and Chromie were the 4-man. So, legitimately, what you're looking at when you look at these two teams is like, oh, okay, obviously Red Team has everything. They can just protect Hammer infinitely. and kill our whole team whenever they go in. Here is the big wall stun from the wind tunnel. Now we've got oh so much damage just dumping onto both the tank and the other tank. And it feels so good. It feels so good watching that Mighty Gust just slam people into the wall. That choke specifically is so good for Falstad. Not to mention on the bottom side of the map, since the corridors in this map are really small, even the lanes are fairly small because the distance that Mighty Gust pushes people is significant. And it'll just shove people into a wall from like the entire width of the lane, honestly. So all that being said, I mean, Mighty Gust is ridiculously strong. We've talked about that enough. But the team comp, again, looking at the enemy team, if that 4-man plays correctly, Chromie still hasn't taken a 20 talent, which is probably some manner of BM on her part. Oh, no, there it is. Anyway, the enemy team should basically never lose control of the 4-man. Our Karazim and our Muradin both have to jump in, even Murky. All of them have to jump in to deal damage, and they're all melee. So Chromie should be able to poke them from so far away, on top of Hammer doing the same thing, on top of May just putting all of her abilities on top of all of those characters to prevent dive. Now, obviously we're sitting in the solo lane the whole game. It's hard to tell what the enemy did so wrong to get to this point, but they did drop it really, really hard. Obviously, they got all the way to the keep wall for our mid lane really early on, and then just never did anything else. And that in and of itself is kind of hilarious. Oh, no. Okay, the wind tunnel didn't work that time. I wasn't able to get the angle correct. So there's a little lip there on the siege camp, and it caught May, so she stayed on the point. I just ate so much damage from the Chromie. Ouch. That's how that really should go. Chromie should be throwing damage onto one target and just exploding them. But given the manner of our team comp, I guess everybody being in her face all at once probably makes it a little bit tough to do skill shots. I guess my team is better focused on which targets to get to, and their team is very much trying to figure out who to hit. Chromie got the right idea trying to blast me, but at the same time, Monk, Murky, and Muradin. That feels so good to say. With the Avatar hat, are just going to get onto whatever target they want. And then with the 7-sided strike, on top of the clone, on top of the just Muradin damage, like, things are going to hurt. So it was a really strange comp. We went into this game thinking that we were not going to have any fun at all, and then all we really did was stick to the macro plan, and things went really well. We didn't die a lot in the early game. We didn't throw away any, big leads. We didn't give the enemy team a lot to work with. Oh, coming in from the backside, Asmo's going down right now, and we're going to shove Chromie into the wall, hit her with the lightning rod and the hammerang, and then maybe get the May? No, May's got stim drone. She's got the move speed. She's got everything going. I don't think we can catch her. Looks like Hammer's going to make it out as well. I'm a little bit upset about that. I need to medallion through the stun to keep the lightning rod on May. Is she going to die? She's not. I can't continue to take damage from the tower. It's a feels bad man right there. Our monk is headed to the Dragon Knight to pick up the objective and run it down so we can end this game. The enemy team does have all their keeps, and they are on even talent tier with us finally, but with the way that the Gust have been going during this game, there's just really nothing it feels like they can do. Their team is literally falling apart because of how good the engage is from our team. And they have nothing to disengage except for Snowball, which has a channel time, which is going to get interrupted by the Gust, which is just 1 million more reasons to pick Gust over Blast. Hopefully, Falstad will get a change very soon for that ability, and Fingers crossed, because it sucks. It's just hot garbage right now. Gonna try to get the May. She's in the Octo grab. She's going to get... nope. The 7-sided... Wow. The 11-sided strike actually taking out the May. Even though the enemy team tried to distribute the damage a little bit, wasn't enough. And May got punched directly through her shield. We got the keep. Doesn't look like we have enough health to continue going. That's no big deal. We didn't lose anybody. I'm going to push everyone into the wall here, starting with the Morales, who just cannot get away. And my team is 100% ready to jump on that thick medic from the shadows. Picking up some more damage on our wingman. We're at 60% bonus lightning rod damage. So 264, we're getting at least 132, I think about 150 extra damage on the initial strike, and then who knows? It's a lot of damage. It's stupid good. I love it. You can check those numbers here, actually. 48,000 for being in the off lane for 23,000 experience worth of time. This is a good number. I'm very happy, and we've got 7-0 on this character. If that doesn't prove to you how good Falstad is when played correctly, I don't know what will. Yeah, that felt good. In the most good manner of speaking, that was good. 7-9-0. 36% siege damage, 32% XP contribution. Best in the game. We are a soaker. And we the enemy team could not get their XP game together, ever. Just never could do it. The talents, again, in case you need them, are going to be a Wingman, level 1, Hammer Gains at level 4, Boomerang at level 7, Mighty Gust at 10, Float Rider at level 13, Airy Gusts at 16, and Wind Tunnel at 20. That poor guy didn't even make it to 200 stacks. I mean, let's be real. He did not try to push at all with his build, and there were probably plenty of opportunities. So, 57 on the Stormball. Way to go. Nice. Looking good. Looking good. That is going to do it for today's video. And we'll be back tomorrow. I've got a lot of Dragonshire this week. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a couple surprises in store. But tomorrow isn't a surprise. It's Zool. It's Dragonshire. I ruined it. I'm sorry. See you tomorrow. Stick around, again, if you're interested in the ending of the 2-sentence horror story from the beginning of the video. And I will see you